Termination or suspension of parental authority. Parental authority is permanently terminated upon the death of the parents, upon the death of the child, or upon the emancipation of the child. Sabi dito, ang parental authority daw ay sakalang permanenteng matitigil o mawawakasan kapag ang magulang o tayo ay patay na. At ang emancipation is defined as the freedom from parental authority which takes place upon reaching the age of majority. Thus, legally speaking, a parent can no longer exercise parental authority over their children who have reached the age of 18 because they are now adults. Yan, yung sabi dito sa emancipation ay pag daw tayo ay nag-edad na tayo ng 18 ay magkakaroon tayo ng freedom o kalayaan sa ibang bagay na kaya nating pagdesisyonan na tayo na lang, na hindi na tayo ng ating mga magulang. Basta kapag ikaw ay umedad ka ng 18, magkakaroon ka ng freedom sa ibang bagay. Halimbawa na lang yung mga nagagawa ng mga adults, yung ibang nagagawa ng adults, yan, pwede nating gawin kasi meron na tayong nasa legal age na tayo, yung nasa majority or 18 years old na.
Parental authority is also terminated in the following cases. Adoption. When a child is adopted, the biological parents' parental authority is terminated, transferring it to the adopted parents. Appointment of a guardian. If a guardian is appointed for a child, the biological parents' authority may be terminated or limited depending on the court's decision and the nature of the guardianship. Declaration of abandonment. When a child is declared abandoned by the court, the parental authority of the biological parents may be terminated due to their failure to fulfill parental responsibilities. Court judgment. A competent court may issue a final judgment divesting a parent of their parental authority, typically due to factors such as abuse, neglect, or other actions contrary to the best interests of the child.
Upon judicial declaration or absence or incapacity of the exercising parental authority, ang judicial na deklarasyon ng kawalan o kakulangan ng kakayahan ng isang tao na magparsyal ng autoridad sa pagiging magulang ay tumutukoy sa isang legal na hatol kung saan itinatakda ng korte ang isang magulang ay nawawala o hindi kayang tuparin ang kanilang mga responsibilidad bilang magulang dahil sa pisikal o mental na kakulangan. Sa mga ganitong kaso, maaaring magtalaga ang korte ng ibang individual o ng isang tagapangalaga o isang ahensya ng proteksyon ng bata upang kumuha ng responsibilidad sa pag-aaruga at paggawa ng mga ebidensya para sa bata. Ginagawa ito upang matiyak ang kaligtasan at kagalingan ng isang bata.
Suspension of parental authority. Suspension is different from termination in the sense that termination may mean permanent while suspension always means temporary. While the grounds for the suspension of parental authority are the following. First is conviction of a parent of a crime which carries with it the penalty of civil interdiction. Civil interdiction deprives individuals of parental rights, guardianship, marital authority, and the right to manage and dispose of property. It is an accessory penalty for those sentenced to death, commuted to life imprisonment, reclusion perpetua, or reclusion temporal. It is also a necessary penalty or accessory penalty imposed on accused found guilty to certain crimes. It also involves deprivation of the offender during the time of his or her sentence of the rights of parental authority or guardianship, either as the person or property of any ward of marital authority, of the right to manage his property and of the right to dispose of such property by any act. Dito naman po is kapag ang isang magulang or guardian ay nakagawa ng crimes against his or her child, ito po yung penalty na ipapataw sa kanya. So, ang sunod naman po natin is treating the child with excessive harness or cruelty. So, dito naman po is the parent who shall inflict physical injuries upon his child, the excessive harness or cruelty. For example, si Nena, legitimate child niya si Totoy. Sinasaktan or inuupog niya ito sa dingding ng paulit-ulit, yung lagi niya itong ginagawa kapag galit siya din sa bata or ay inis siya o kaya iyak lang iyak, sinasaktan niya yung bata. The grounds enumerated are deemed to include cases which have resulted from culpable negligence of the parent or the person exercising parental authority. If the degree of seriousness so warrants or the welfare of the child so demands, the court shall deprive the guilty party of parental authority or adopt such other measures as may be proper under the circumstances. The suspension of or deprivation may be revoked and the parental authority deprived in a case filled for the purpose or in the same proceeding in the court finds that the cause therefore has ceased and will not be repeated. Yun yung kaso na isasampa sa kanya para di na niya ulit sa kanyang bata yung
Giving the child corruption orders, counsel, or example. Ang pagbibigay ng utos, payo o halimbawa na makakasira sa isang bata ay tumutukoy sa aksyon ng pagtuturo sa bata na negatibong nagpapaapekto sa kanilang moral na karakter o asal. Maaaring kasama dito ang paghihikayat sa kasinungalingan, pagpataguyod ng mapanganib na asal o pagtakda ng masamang halimbawa sa pamamagitan ng sariling mga kilos. Mahalagang maunawaan ng mga bata ang madaling maimpluwensyahan at matuto sa pamamagitan ng pagmamasid at pagsunod sa mga kilos ng mga matatanda. Kaya ang mga utos halimbawa na nakakasira ay maaaring magkaroon ng malaki at pangmatagalang epekto sa paglaki at pag-unawa sa mundo ng isang bata. Lagi nating dapat itaguyod ang positibo, etikal at konsitibong mga asal kapag nakikihalubilo ang mga bata.
Substitute parental authority in case of absence or death of both parent or unsuitability both parent. Substitute parental authority comes into play under Executive Order Number 209, also known as the Family Code of the Philippines, enumerates the person who can exercise substitute parental authority, and its follow a specific order of preference, Article 216, or under the Executive Order 209, Number 1, the surviving grandparent or godparent court or designated by the court. Sinasabi po sa number 1, kapag wala ang mga magulang, ang kapalit na tagapag-alaga ay maaring ang mga nabubuhay pang lola at lolo. Kung wala ang lola at lolo, ang court na ang magdidesisyon kung sino ang mag-aalaga sa bata.
The oldest brother or sister, 21 years of age, unfit or disqualified or over unless maaring mag-substitute parental ang mga nakakatandang kapatid, kuya o ate. Ngunit dapat 21 years old at may kakayang mag-alaga ng kapatid. The child actual custodian over 21 years old of age, unless unfit or disqualified. Maaari din naman ang actual custodian o ang pangangalaga sa bata ang pumalit basta 21 years old pataas at may kakayahan ding mag-alaga ng bata.
Good morning, ma'am. This is my part in the termination or suspension of parental authority. I am Iverus Denise Theory Hudos, BS Criminology 3G Group 1. So, this is my part. Special Parental Authority. Sinasabi dito, the Special Parental Authority is a concept introduced by EO 209. It is different from substitute parental authority in the sense that Special Parental Authority is concurrently exercised with the parental authority. It rests on the theory that while the child is in the care and custody of the person or persons exercising special parental authority, the parents temporarily relinquish parental authority over the child to the latter. The best example of special parental authority is that which is exercised by the school, its administrators and teachers over the students. In Latin, this is called in loco parentis. Thus, special parental authority and responsibility apply to all authorized activities, whether inside or outside the premises of the school. So ito, batay dun sa title, Special Parental Authority, parental, parents, mga magulang. So, karamihan sa atin ang pagkakaintindi, yung mga parents lang dapat ang magbigay ng pagmamahal, disiplina, attention sa kanilang mga anak. Sila dapat ang humuhubog sa pagpapalaki ng kanilang anak. Pero, kung titingnan natin sa isang side, ang sabi nga dito, ang best example is yung school, yung mga teachers at administrator, mga counselors. Kung may problema man yung mga anak ng mga parents, ang mga teachers na nasa school ang nagbibigay ng karagdagang impormasyon kung anong dapat gawin ng mga parents. So, ang gagawin nito, makikipag-coordinate ang parents sa teachers, sa mga administrators, para kung ano man lang ang nangyayari sa kanilang mga anak sa loob ng school is alam ng parents. May tinatawag tayong principal parental authority, which is yun yung mga magulang lamang sa loob ng bahay. Dito ang pinag-uusapan is special parental authority, which is ang mga administrator, teachers, kung nasan sa loob ng room ang inyong mga anak, is makikipag-coordinate ang parents para malaman kung ano ang behavior ng kanilang mga anak sa pinagkaiba sa bahay at sa loob ng school. May tinatawag pang substituted parental authority, which is doon na pumapasok yung mga lolo-lola na magbibigay sa kanila ng disiplina sa mga apo nila upang malaman nila ang nangyayari sa behavior ng kanilang mga apo. So, tinatawag special parental authority, yung pala yung mga administrators, mga schools, yung mga teachers, mga counselors sa loob ng paaralan. So, dito pala, sa special parental authority, mga teachers, kailangan obligation nila. Kapit nila yung mga estudyante nila, nasa loob sila ng room, nasa loob sila ng school. So, ang mga teachers, tinatawag natin itong secondary parent. So, kung may mga behavior man na inappropriate behavior na ipinapilit ng student, so sila ang magbibigay ng counsel kung ano ang dapat gawin ng student at ng parents. So, ito pala is para sa mga emancipation na children. So, kasama doon yung mga supervisions. Yung lahat ng activity na ginaganap sa loob ng school, dapat ang administrators at ang teachers ang bumubuhat nito o nagpapalawig nitong special parental authority at yung mga institutions nito. And even sa mga outsides na school premises, for example is yung mga field trips, mga ganyan, sa museum, tour in museum, nakasama ang teachers. So dito dapat kargo ng administrator, ng teachers, ng institutions ang kanilang mga estudyante. So, dito tinatawag ito yung mga obligations ng mga teachers at mga administrators. And that is the nilalaman ng Special Parental Authority.
Liability of parents. Ang liability of parents ay tumutukoy sa responsibility ng mga magulang o tagapag-alaga sa pagbabayad ng pinsala na idulot ng kanilang minor de edad na anak. Ayon sa Article 58 ng Civil Code, ang mga magulang ay may pananagutan sa pinsalang idinulot ng kanilang anak sa ibang tao, maging ito man ay sinasadya o aksidente.
A special category of children. Presidential Decree Number 603, otherwise known as Child and Youth Welfare Code. PD 603 enumerate the category of children, and this different can be found under Article 141, 168, 170, 171, 172, and 173. Dependent child, one who is without a parent, guardian, or custodian, or one whose parent, guardian, or other custodian for good cause desire to be relieved of his care and custody and is dependent upon the public for support. Ito yung mga bata na hindi naalagaan ng tama ng kanilang mga magulang na umaasa na lang sila sa suporta ng publiko. Next is abandoned child, one who has no proper parental or guardianship or whose parents or guardians have deserted him for a period of at least 3 continuous months as amended by RA 9523. So ito naman yung mga batang inabandona or iniwan ng kanilang mga magulang na hindi bababa sa 3 buwan na sunod-sunod, na ayon ito sa pagbabago ng RA 9523.
Neglect child. Neglect child daw is yung mga child na deprive sa mga basic needs niya. Tulad ng sabi dito, neglect child is one whose basic needs has been deliberately inadequate, attended, or attended. Neglect may occur in 2 ways. There is a physical neglect when the child is malnourished, a child without proper shelter. Ang nagiging neglect ang isang bata pag malnutrition at dahil pag na wala siya proper shelter. Sa sunod is a child is unattended when left by himself without provision and for his needs without proper provision. Sabi nga po doon, nagiging neglect child daw ang isang bata pag na iiwan to or iniiwan to mag-isa, kung yung wala siyang nag-ano sa kanya, walang nagagabay at iniwan lang siya. Example is mga batang lansangan na neglect child.
Emotional neglect exists when children are maltreated, raped, or seduced. When children are exploited, overworked, or made to work under conditions not conducive to good health, or are made to beg in the streets or public places, or when children are in moral danger or exposed to gambling, prostitution, or other vices.
Mentally retarded children. There are 6 types of mentally retarded children. First one is socially incompetent, that is socially inadequate and occupationally incompetent and unable to manage their own affairs. The second one is mentally subnormal. The third one is retarded intellectually from birth or early age. The fourth one is retarded deficient or maturity. And the fifth one is mentally as a result of constitutional origin through heredity or disease. And the last is essentially incurable. Next is physically handicapped children. Children, those who are crippled or yung bingi, deaf, crippled is yung pagiging baldado, deaf is yung bingi, tapos mute is yung pagiging pipi, and blind is pagiging bulag, or otherwise defective which restrict their means others of action and communication with.
dito is pumapasok yung mga children or kabataan na may kapansanan. Yang dito is hirap silang makipag-communicate sa ibang tao because of their, yun nga, yung pagiging kapansanan, lalo na yung pagiging bingi and pipi.
Last po is emotionally disturbed children. So although not afflicted with mental defect, unable are those the one insanity or to maintain morals normal, social relation with others and the community in general problem or complexes due to emotional. Disabled children retarded shall include mentally, physically handicapped, emotionally disturbed, and severe mentally ill children. So sa mga emotionally disturbed children, sila po yung kalimitan ay may mga sakit po or yung mga tinatawag po nating mga psycho people, mga psychopath po. So commonly po, kahit po merong pagkakataon na hindi normal mag-react yung behavior nila kasi nga po emotionally disturbed sila, din may iritado sila. Like yung may mga bata na may mga sakit such as epilepsy, so commonly hindi na nila ma-maintain yung normality nung movement nila or yung behavior nila. But then again, yung mga batang ito is may kakayahan pa rin na makipag-socialize sa mga tao kasi hindi naman po sa lahat ng oras ay ang mga batang ganito ay kumbaga ay sasabihin nating hindi normal. Kumbaga may pagkakataon ng normal, feeling okay yung mood nila. Kaya po may pagkakataon na kailangan para ma-maintain yung ganong good mood ng mga emotionally disturbed children ay kailangan po sila dapat ay so kaya nga po ang mga batang ito ay kailangan yung mga parents or yung guidance na environment nila is kailangan po ay ini-include din na maging physically fit yung kanilang mentally, yung katawan, yung pag-iisip para sa ganon hindi totally matrigger po yung mga sakit nila or yung pagiging emotionally disturbed nila as bata na nakakaranas po ng ganon.
Thank you.